about an alien race, little aliens, that come to planet Earth and disrupt a family farm.
Disrupt?
Yep.
Family farm?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a mix between a Pac-Man, a porcupine, and a raccoon.
Sure.
So the movie starts in space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some critters have escaped their maximum confinement prison. I don't know why we're throwing these little things into prison at all.
They're called krites.
They're called krites in this other universe. As they're escaping, a weird alien monster dude, captain, that walks around in a...
He lives in a baby walker, like one of those round, bouncy things with like a tray surrounding him. He lives in one of those.
Yeah, we get the impression he's an adult, but maybe they age backwards in
Yeah.
their universe.
Anyway, he calls his friends the other aliens, the henchmen. Not henchmen. Headhunters. Handmaidens.
Bounty hunters.
Headhunters. Is it not headhunters? Bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters. They're not recruiting the critters.
Okay. All the bounty hunters say is, kill krites.
Kill krites.
We want krites.
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 Critters.
Where are krites?
Same thing.
Kill krites.
The next part of this movie is about that family farm. We're introduced to them.
Very stereotypical white farm family. There's a mother and a father and a daughter and a son who don't get along. The daughter's a teenager who only has time for boys. And she's got shoulder pads because it's 1986.
And she doesn't get along with her pesky little brother who's only got time for pulling pranks and doing fun things with a slingshot.
Pyro.
And we're also introduced to Charlie. Charlie is not part of the family. He helps on the farm. But Charlie's also a loser alcoholic.
But this little boy, Brad, loves Charlie. They're besties. Charlie shoots Brad's sister in the butt with a slingshot, and he doesn't want Charlie to get in trouble. So then he gets grounded, doesn't get slingshot privileges for who knows how long.
Then his dad finds his bombs he's making.
Oh my god, Brad. You gotta hide your bombs.
Like, I know we're supposed to find this kid lovable and, like, rambunctious, but, like, he's making bombs. I didn't make bombs growing up.
No.
I was a rambunctious child.
Yeah. They start to hear some weird sounds out in the field, so Brad and his dad go out to investigate. Meanwhile, sister and her sexy boyfriend, who nobody likes, played by
Billy Zane
from Titanic.
from Demon Knight.
Her and Billy Zane are getting on out in the barn. They are dry humping for half the movie.
They dry hump for a long time, enough to have a rash. They also set up her boyfriend like he's gonna be some New York douche.
Yeah.
And he's actually an incredibly polite dude.
He's like the nicest person in the film. He says thank you for dinner.
He doesn't want to make the dad uncomfortable, and when the daughters are like, let's go hook up in the barn, he's like, maybe no, I like your parents. I'm gonna ask you to marry me one day. He doesn't say that, but...
Dad and son looking for cows. I don't know if that's what they were doing, but they find a cow that was eaten by a critter.
Things start happening. Critters attack. They attack the dad. They attack Billy Zane. They eat his fingers off. They eat his tummy off.
They blow little spikes that make you sleepy for a little bit.
They also kill the sheriff's buddy, the deputy. Is that what he is?
Neelix?
Neelix.
Yeah.
That's not his name in this movie, but pretty much if you're in this movie and you ever go on to act in anything else, you get murdered in this movie.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I know some people in this movie. Oh, you're not really in this movie.
Yeah, like Billy Zane.
From Titanic.
He's in other movies, Stacey.
Hold on. Titanic's the first one that comes up.
Followed by Critters.
Back to the Future.
The thing about these bounty hunters, though, is that they don't have faces. It's just all... nothing.
Just green, racist alien heads.
The fun part about these aliens is they have the ability to take the shape of whatever humanoid life form they come across. And on their way to Earth, they look at some of our television broadcasts and decide to become whatever they see that fits their face.
And this guy, one of the guys, discovers Johnny Steele.
Johnny Steele.
Who is Earth's most famous rock star.
Pretty much like a Mick Jagger.
Yeah, and his hit single is
Power of the Night.
Power of the night, the streets are calling, stealing from the light, shadows are calling, it's the power of the night, the streets are calling, power of the night.
It's pretty fun. I actually like the song. It's like they made this song. This is pretty good. Let's make that a plot
We'll
point.
do a separate review of just the song.
So he becomes
Johnny Steele.
Johnny Steele.
Facially. So he's now walking around this town looking for krites, but he looks like a famous rock star. You'd think that would be a big plot point, but it's not.
It's just occasionally, casually mentioned by someone
Like a couple people recognize him.
oh, that's Johnny Steele, that's weird.
Goes to an entire bowling alley and nobody knows who he is.
But also his partner, the other bounty hunter, he can't find a body that seems to fit him.
Oh.
So the rest of the movie is him kind of running into people and doing like a weird stare down, just like someone's on the G train trying to ask you for money, but they're just maybe out of it. They're doing one of these, and then he takes on their face. And the fun part is, and this is actually kind of a fun part of the movie, is that he takes on a dead guy first, so he's walking around as a dead guy.
Yeah, he's like a zombie. Just zombie Neelix from Star Trek Voyager and Johnny Steele are buddy copping it for a little while.
Then he takes the form of a pastor, and later Charlie. He can never settle on a face. I've been there.
So what are critters exactly? They seem to eat anything. They prefer people, but they definitely like ate an entire car once. So I don't know why they're like specifically targeting people, specifically this family.
It's not clear if they ate the car like to sabotage it because they are smart,
Right.
or if they just were like, this used to be leather. Yeah, as they eat, they get bigger. One gets very big.
Like,
I think it's as big as us.
really?
It's a big critter.
We're not that big.
For critters, we're pretty big. Eventually, the family gets in their home, lock all the doors, and they try to hunker down until help arrives.
But the sheriff's not that good at helping.
No, he doesn't even want to be in this movie, I don't think. One thing I couldn't help but notice is the dad has a shotgun. But on the wall behind him are like 3 more shotguns. And he's like, oh, he's got the one shot. There's 3 shotguns.
Brad knows how to use a shotgun.
And the mother spends 90% of this movie screaming. That's perfect. But she's great with a gun in this movie. Give her one of the guns. There's a gun for everybody. Eventually, they're forced upstairs into the bedroom. The dad's had his shoulder just ravaged. They love that one shoulder. And they decide they're going to send the kid for help. Bounty hunters end up showing up.
Boy meets him in the car. He's like, I know you. You're Johnny Steele. And he's like, nobody recognized me. He doesn't say that.
The bounty hunters show up. They start blowing stuff down. They got pretty cool guns.
Throwing stuff down.
Blowing, not up, just down.
Just down.
Eventually, the few remaining critters get on their spaceship and try to escape. But then, Charlie's little friend, what's his name, Danny?
Brad.
But that's when
Brad
remembers that he's got that big bomb, but it doesn't go off. But then Charlie remembers, I'm an alcoholic. I have alcohol on me all the time. Yay, alcoholism. It explodes, lights the fuse on the bomb, and the spaceship explodes as well, killing all the critters.
That's great. Brad really bonds with the Johnny Steele alien, and he, at some point, gives him like a little remote control. And he's like, call me.
Yeah, it looks like a little bitty remote control. It must be a phone of some sort.
I wonder if it'll be in the sequel.
So he leaves Johnny Steele and his faceless friend. And so does Charlie. He sort of follows after him, like, hey, do you interstellar bounty hunters need a guy who gets so drunk he can't even show up for his one farming job? The family goes home to their farm only to discover
Their whole house is blown down.
Big Bad Krites. He presses the button on his little remote control, and the house rebuilds itself.
Yeah, it was clearly like they had a house and they tore it down, and then they shot that in reverse.
Yeah. It didn't really explain what kind of technology these aliens have that they could just rebuild a house that they never knew about till its initial state, but
They can do that.
they can do that, yeah. So it's a big happy ending. Except. What? Except.
There's eggs
Critter eggs.
left in the barn.
And there's a close-up on that to indicate that there's a sequel. The movie's fun. I don't know what genre it's going for. It's like every kind of genre. It's very campy when the family's there. It's crazy sci-fi when we're in space. It's very horrific when the critters are just like ripping people's flesh apart.
Yeah.
It's also sort of comedic when the bounty hunters come and start taking people's faces.
Yeah, the family takes themselves very seriously. Everything they say and do is like, this is a horror movie, these things are terrifying. But the critters are like little dicks, and they're very funny.
They speak nonsense, like whatever their critter language is, but it subtitles it, and it's always something like, holy shit!
But whenever they like are being mean to people, they're just like, it's very cute. I would want one They
didn't murder people.
Yeah.
The movie's fun. The acting is kind of all over the place.
I feel like they watched Troll 2 and they saw how bad that family was, and they were like, we can afford a little bit better than that in this film. No offense, Mom from E.T.
She's dealt with a lot of aliens
Yeah.
in her lifetime. But the movie was fun. I liked it.
I liked it.
Tell us what you liked about the movie, what you didn't like about Critters.
What you don't like about us?
What famous actors were in it that we forgot to tell you died.
Anything we messed up? We probably said someone's name wrong.
Yeah, maybe you think critters are totally different animals put together. Let us know. Subscribe.
Love you.